As the moon returns home, she whispers to the sun, "Time to rise and shine. The world awaits you." While the sun stirs, he peeks his head out from underneath the blanket of the night sky. He stretches and yawns, slowly making his way up to the grand stage. He looks back to catch a glimpse of his love and smiles. She winks back. "Show time." In an instant, he is ready to embrace the world again. And with his arms spread wide open, he gently kisses the horizon, releasing his beautiful display of strength and splendor for all to enjoy. As he makes his way higher into the sky, he calls out to all who listen, "Hello, big beautiful world. It's a brand new day, so make it a good one. Rise and shine." A very pleasant morning, dear students. We are so fortunate to enter into another day of life. It's good to begin the day by thanking God and saying a small prayer, offering to God all that we are about to do. So close your eyes and please join me in this prayer. Dear Lord, I thank you that no matter what I may face today, with your help, I will be able to endure, overcome, and prevail. I thank you in advance for your strength and energy that will sustain me, your wisdom that will guide me, and your peace that will fill me. May I honor you today in all I think, say, and do. Amen. Being positive is very, very important. A positive frame of mind determines what you are going to achieve at the end of the day. And hence, to begin each day with a positive thought is vital. That is the reason why I begin the day with a thought. I would like to begin deriving the thought from the observations that I have made of my own father, dad. His name is Marshall. He is 78 years old. He was a teacher in a government school and he served as a teacher for 33 years. And he retired in the year 2000. Probably none of you were born. And he has already completed 20 years of retired life and he has stepped into 21st year. One of the things that I admire most in my dad is his regularity and passion for God and for prayer. We as human beings have the tendency to give excuse. When we have exams, we ignore prayer, we ignore household work, we ignore our responsibility because we need to study. We only study. When there is an issue, when there is a problem at home, that which we do daily, we just put aside because we are immersed in that problem, in that pain, in that suffering. What I noticed in my dad is whatever happens, it could be sickness, it could be a problem at home, it could be lack of peace, it could be a financial difficulty, it could be health issues, it could be issues concerning my brother, my sister. But whatever happens, my dad never ever stops praying, never ever stops giving time to God. And he spends most of the time in the church praying and spending time and talking to God. I really admire and I'm proud to be his son. I feel such a passion in that man and a discipline at this age. Therefore, I'd like to place before you, in line with the experience and observation that I made, a thought for the day, taken from the hero of our autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela, who says, everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. I repeat, everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. My father was successful because he was dedicated and passionate about his time with God and for God. And what, as students, you are recommended to do is you should be dedicated and passionate about learning. You should be committed to your task given by the teachers. It is dedication and passion for learning that will fetch you success, and you can rise above any circumstance, any challenge that comes on your way. So therefore, be dedicated, be passionate about your life as a student, and therefore be committed to your learning, the task of learning. Having fed our mind with a positive thought, let's move on with our class today. We begin the day also by testing our mind of what we have learned in the previous class. In other words, it's a test time. Please open your copies and be ready to attempt the class test. I shall read the questions for you once. Question number 1. Write the meaning of amphitheater and outlaws. Question number 2. When was Nelson Mandela sworn in as the first black president of South Africa? Option A, 10th June. Option B, 10th May. Option C, 10th August. Option D, 10th July. Question number 3. Who accompanied Mandela to the stage on his big day? Question number 4. What is the full form of ANC? Question number 5. South Africa lost all its international relationships while practicing apartheid. Is this statement true? All the best. It's time for the model reading by the teacher. Kindly take page number 19. We shall have the model reading from pages 19 to 21 today. Please listen to the reading with utmost attention. Page number 19. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers roared in perfect formation over the Union buildings. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and Police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before, they would not have saluted but arrested me. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of the new South African flag. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems, and the vision of white singing Kosi Sikalel e Africa, and black singing Dai Stem, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhumane societies the world has ever known. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century, and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all peoples, regardless of the color of their skin. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people, people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. That long and noble line ended and now began again with me. I was pained that I was not able to thank them and that they were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. All of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect. That was that it produced the Oliver Tambos, the Walter Sissulus, the Chief Luthilus, the Yusuf Dadus, and Bram Fishers, and Robert Sobues of our time. Men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. Perhaps it requires such depths of oppression to create such heights of character. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest diamonds. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have never seen men stand up to attacks and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Even in the grimmest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. Having listened to the model reading by the teacher, it is time for you to read the text personally. Please read the text at least twice and underline the unfamiliar words. Please take this time seriously with all attention kindly read the text once or twice by yourselves. Please pause the video when you engage yourselves into personal reading of the text from pages 19 to 21, after which you may proceed to the next part of the online classes. Now we shall move on to the explanation of the text. I have picked out some difficult words from para 1 and para 2 on page 19. I shall read the words for you before I move on to the explanation. The first word is awe. Awe means amazed, surprised. Spectacular means beautiful in a dramatic and an eye-catching way. Array means an impressive display. Troop means soldiers or armed forces. Precision means accuracy. Bedecked means decorate. Unmindful means not conscious, not or aware. Chevron means a pattern in the shape of a V. Trail means series or chain. Now what does para 1 and 2 mean? Let me take paragraph 1 for explanation. What does the author mean in paragraph 1? Mandela mentions that after great struggle, they have finally achieved political freedom. And his government promised to free everyone of the still existing poverty, hardship and inequalities of all kinds, along with assuring everyone of a country where no community will be considered inferior. He then exclaims that freedom should rule and may God shower his blessings on their land. Just after the newly elected president's address to the audience, an impressive arrangement of fighter jets, helicopter and soldier transporters raised everyone's heads up in the sky. It symbolized perfection as well as military's respect and obedience towards the free country. The high commanders who have won medals for their bravery also saluted and promised their loyalty. Mandela does mention that he was well aware that these commanders who were now saluting him would have arrested him under the previous rule, as during the oppressive white supremacy. He was considered to be a criminal. The air show finally ended by making of the South African flag in the sky from smoke beneath the jets. Now we shall pick up the difficult words from para 2 and 3. Symbolized means be a symbol of. Lyrics means the words of a song. Despised means hated, had a very low opinion of. Overwhelmed means have a strong emotional effect. Erected means build, construct. Racial domination means when people of one race have power over another race. Inhumane means cruel, brutal. Overturned means reverse. Let me explain paragraph 2. The author remembers the day as the playing of two national anthems of the country, one of the whites and the other that of the blacks. On that day, no one knew the wordings of the anthem of the blacks, but Mandela was confident that everyone would soon learn this anthem that they once hated. What do we understand by paragraph 3? On the day of the inaugural ceremony, the author was remembering the days of past, when this whole system of apartheid emerged. It resulted in inequality and inferior treatment of dark-skinned people. They were deprived of their basic fundamental rights. As a result, one of the world's most brutal and inhumane society was born. This began even before he was born. This system created an atmosphere of extreme cruelty and injustice for a particular part of the community. Now, when he is in his 8th decade as a man, he, along with countless others, have changed this entire system that treats humans as humans, irrespective of their color, caste, gender, or age. Let's pick up the difficult words from para 4 and 5. Unimaginable means difficult or impossible to imagine. Patriots means a person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies. Apartheid means a policy or system of segregation on grounds of race. Profound means very great or intense. Unintended means not planned or meant. So let me now explain the meaning of para 4 and 5. Para 4 and 5 means this equal and free country was a result of sacrifices of countless other men and women who have fought all their lives for this day. The author Mandela wishes that he could thank them all, but unfortunately they didn't live to see the result of their courage. Nelson Mandela gathered his courage and power from all these people and thus wishes to make them proud. What does paragraph 4 means? It means the oppression policy scarred many people and it will take a long time for them to move on. The author mentions that this hard time had its negative impacts, but it also exposed a lot of strong and courageous men who stood up and raised their voice. Thus, it required that level of unjust treatment to produce such great heroes. South Africa, he says, is rich in minerals and gems, but its greatest strength lies in its people. South Africa, he says, is rich in minerals and gems, but its greatest strength lies in its people. Now we shall pick up the difficult words from para 6 and 7 on page 21. Comrades means a colleague or a fellow member of an organization. Resilience means the ability to deal with any kind of hardships and recover from its effects. Defies means refuse to obey. Triumph means great victory or achievement. Grimaced means very serious or gloomy. Glimmer means shine faintly with a wavering light. Push to our limits. The phrase push to our limits means push to the last point in our ability to bear pain. Reassure means say or do something to remove the doubts. Let me explain the meaning of paragraph 6 and 7. In this paragraph, Nelson Mandela is trying to communicate the following. Nelson Mandela gained a strength to stand against the wrong from all the great nationalists he mentioned above, who have even risked their lives for freedom and tolerated ill treatment, but never stopped fighting. He learned that courage didn't mean the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome fear. I repeat, Nelson Mandela learned that courage didn't mean the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome fear. The man who overcomes his fear is called brave. Para 7 means the following. One is taught by its society to hate humans because of their skin, color, age, gender, and religion. No one is inborn with hatred. It is a society which teaches hatred to human beings. The author's idea is that if people can be taught hatred, they can also be taught love and brotherhood. In their most testing times in prison, when they were being treated brutally, Mandela would see a pinch of humanity and kindness in one of the guards, and that was enough to keep him going. He believes that goodness in human beings can be suppressed, but never, ever eliminated. So, having finished the explanation part, it is time to evaluate our level of understanding of today's class. Let me read the questions for you. Question number 1: what is the meaning of the phrases rise above and pushed to our limits? Question number 2: form a sentence using the following words: bedecked, spectacular, overwhelmed, profound, defies. Question number 3: what paved way for political freedom in South Africa? Question number 4: an impressive arrangement of fighter jets, helicopter, and soldier transporters raised everyone's heads up in the sky. It symbolized dash as well as dash, respect and obedience towards the free country. Kindly attempt and complete the procedure of evaluation to check your understanding of the entire day's exposition of the autobiography titled A Long Walk to Freedom. It's time to recap and to recoil in our minds what we have seen throughout the day. And this recapitulation will be done with the help of the display of the salient points of our discussion today in the class. And as the slides are being played for you with the background of music, you are expected to read through and to recoil in your mind, connect what we have heard and what we have seen today. Hope you found the class interesting and beneficial. I'm sure as we go on with the rest of the lesson, you'll be able to get a better understanding of this autobiography written by Nelson Mandela titled Long Walk to Freedom. So thank you for listening. God bless you, and we shall meet once again tomorrow. Bye-bye.